Hi, this is Trent from MetaGeek, and today we're going to be talking about duty cycle, or as MetaGeek likes to call it, utilization. Now, the literal meaning of duty cycle is the ratio of the duration of the event to the total period, according to Wikipedia. Basically, that's saying how often is something transmitting within a given period of time. So looking at this image, we see that some device comes on and off again, and how often it is on, that is the calculation. So when it's on 100% of the time, it's 100% duty cycle. Whereas if the total time that it's on is 10% of that time, it's a 10% duty cycle. This is a pretty simple calculation. Not all spectrum analyzers demodulate a signal when they do duty cycle calculations. They are drawing an arbitrary threshold. So they're saying anything above this red line we are going to use towards duty cycle. Because in an example of like a room, something like a ticking clock is not going to be relevant to what you were trying to convey in a conversation in a room. So let's not use that in our calculation. Let's have some sort of threshold. The problem with this is it's arbitrary. Let's say I sit down with Ryan Whittings, the chief geek of MetaGeek, and I'm going to propose the idea of Insider on the iPhone. And we're going to sit down for 1 minute, and during this minute, an air horn is going to come on every other second. And because it's going to come on every other second, that means it's going to be on 50% of the time. Now, 50% is 50% duty cycle. That means our conversation had interruptions in the entire time, and this is something that spectrum analysis does very well, is showing you where the interruptions are occurring and how bad they were. I just wanted to show how this looks in spectrum analysis. So if I were to pause this real quick, right now the threshold is being drawn at negative 85 dBm, meaning right around here is the cutoff. So we're saying what is the percentage of the noise that appears above negative 85 here. Now if I were to lower it, you see that it gets wider, because right now the threshold is at negative 90. And if I were to lower it down to negative 85, you see it gets wider, because the noise is appearing above that threshold that we had drawn. Okay, now what if I told you there was a way that we could not draw the arbitrary threshold but still maintain utilization and amplitude? We're actually calculating utilization at every single amplitude possible. So if you notice in my waterfall navigation, I have 30 seconds selected right now, and I'm going to move to a point in time where this transmitter was on 100% of the time. Now my threshold is at negative 95, which is pretty low. You see I'm getting some of the shoulders here. So I'm going to raise it to negative 75. So at negative 75, right about here, we see that 100% of that activity is above negative 75. But we don't need this view anymore, because we see the entire shape of everything that is 50% or more, which is being colored in red. We can also jump to different points in time to look at, what Wi-Fi might look like with a high utilization or a download. We can look at what an AV transmitter will look like. And we can also look at what a jammer might look like. If I shrink the time frame down to a point in time where the jammer was on, we see that it's almost 100% utilization. This color by utilization I think it might be revolutionary, because now you are seeing utilization at every single point in the spectrum, and you have the ability to adjust the time frame to see how bad interference was when it occurred. The color by utilization is going to be in the next builds of Channelizer 4 and Channelizer Pro, available to everyone. And this is something that is going to be a free update for all people that have Channelizer, and it is going to be included for everyone that buys Channelizer from here on out. Thank you for watching.